Hey Pisces, it's Marley from the Energy Boutique, bringing you your October energy forecast. So welcome to October. We are coming into the month with the sun, with Venus in Libran energy. This means that there's a huge spotlight on your 8th house of death, rebirth, resurrection, and transformation. There are many things ending for my Piscean friends in order to create the space for new beginnings to take place. And in this Libra season, we are striving to find peace, to find balance, to find harmony in our lives. And for my Piscean friends, that is going to mean a huge transformation to some relationships, to some tasks, some chores, some roles, some responsibilities in our lives, and mainly just focused on rearranging the physical realm and the physical circumstances that just aren't working. So I am going to recommend that you hop over to my YouTube channel, that you pay attention and listen to the October energy forecast and subscribe to that playlist so that you can get the full big picture view on what all of these astro events are actually going to mean. I definitely have a lot more time to go in depth and into detail on what these transits are actually going to mean for you. And hopefully with this little mini forecast, you'll be able to see the bigger, brighter picture on what October is actually meant to do, which is transform our physical realities. So on October 2nd, we do have Mercury going direct in Virgo energy. This rewinds us to pretty much the last week of August. We will be retracing our steps as Mercury moves through those final degrees in Virgo and re-enters into Libran energy. Mercury going direct in Virgo energy, though, is highlighting your 7th house of relationships, of how it is that you're sharing yourself with other people, and mostly where it is that you have to kind of achieve a little bit more balance in doing what is right for you versus doing what is right for other people, and taking care of yourself first and foremost before taking care of those around you. Mercury going direct in Virgo really does need you to kind of restructure and reorganize your day-to-day life and how it is that you're sharing yourself with other people, because many of my Piscean friends have given a little bit too much in other people's realms and are depleting themselves of their life force energies. So we are kind of in the second half of your natal year. You have reached a peak over this past month of recognizing what isn't working for you and what is, and there is essentially a death, an ending, a closure coming to a lot of the ways that you've been kind of moving throughout your day, interacting with people, and of course, putting other people's wants, needs, and desires before your own. On the 8th, we have Pluto, the great transformer himself, going direct in Capricorn energy, and this will be illuminating your 11th house. So the past 5.5 months has been an inner exploration of our deepest, darkest fears, of our pain, of our trauma, of our suffering, and where it is that we do not feel in control of our lives, where it is that we're feeling powerless. Now that Pluto is going direct, we're able to kind of take some of those darker thoughts and feelings and use them as inspiration and motivation to actually boss up and make something out of these darker experiences. Now, this is where we take control back. This is where we boss up. This is where there are going to be some karmic events kind of take place to rearrange our physical realms. Pluto illuminating this 11th house is about friendships, connections, network, community. It is also about hopes and dreams and wishes. And many of my Piscean friends have put their own wants, needs, and desires, their own hopes, dreams, and wishes on the back burner in order to do what is either expected of them from other people or what it is that they've been afraid to do for themselves based off of what they think other people may think of them. So this is kind of a renewal, if you will, a resurrection, if you will, of the spirit that we need in order to actually push forward with our own pursuit of happiness, with our own goals, and to get a little bit of a greater, grander vision on what it is that we actually want for ourselves without letting other people's thoughts and opinions kind of sway us from doing what is right for us. On the 9th, we have the full moon taking place in Aries at 16 degrees, and this will be in a pretty close aspect with Chiron, the wounded healer. Now, we are halfway through the astrological calendar that we started back in April of this year. Aries energy, of course, the very first sign of the zodiac. We are at the halfway point, but this particular full moon is going to be an ending point, a closure point, a release and purge of a lot of the anger, a lot of the frustration that we've been holding in, that we've been harboring. And a lot of this comes just from having tough love life lessons thrown at us, for not feeling like we've been in control of some situations and circumstances, and where it is that we feel like we have kind of abandoned ourselves in order to do what is right for other people. Because Chiron's involved, we're definitely exposing our insecurities, our doubts, where it is that we've lost in touch with ourselves. And this is going to fester up and reach a boiling point where we do have to kind of release a lot of these hurtful and harmful feelings in order to clear the space out, in order for us to actually be able to move forward. Now, this particular energy is illuminating your second house. So your second house is about what it is in your routines, in your relationships, in your money matters that have really been getting you down, that has been super frustrating, especially things that have popped off in the spring that you thought you'd be able to have a little bit more progress with, improvement and growth with at this particular point in the calendar, and where a lot of disappointments are coming up for you because you chose to do what you thought was right for other people instead of what was right for you. Again, this kind of takes us back to when you entered into your birthday season and the hopes and the dreams and the intentions that you had set for yourself, and where most of those have really kind of set you up for disappointment and the anger and frustration that comes up when you think about all it is that you tried to bring to life, you tried to give birth to, you tried to make happen, and of course, just wasn't able to be born in the way that you were hoping. So on the 10th, we have Mercury moving into Libran energy, again, highlighting your 8th house. Now, Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, ruler of communication and how we express ourselves, definitely adding a lot of pressure to our headspace, but very focused on balancing the scales, the power exchange in our personal relationships. Again, many of my Piscean friends have overextended themselves to try and take care of other people and do what is right for other people instead of doing what was right for themselves. And now that they are left not even really recognizing themselves and kind of being depleted on their life force energy, Mercury moving into Libra, especially highlighting this 8th house of death, rebirth, and resurrection, there is going to be a little bit of a, I'm going to say, clean slate needed in the way that we are communicating ourselves, our thoughts, our emotions, where it is that we have to be more honest and vulnerable with the people in our lives, and where it is that, you know, we kind of have to make extra efforts in order to regain stability, regain peace, find balance, and not only in relationships, but within our own selves, between our heart and our head, and of course, within recognizing where it is that we have let ourselves go in order to support other people. So on the 23rd, it's going to be a major event for everyone. There are 3 different aspects taking place, starting with Saturn going direct in Aquarius energy. So Saturn has been retrograde for the last 5 months, and Saturn's lesson here was taking us in our inner realm and recognizing where boundaries are needed. Boundaries are needed because in this particular energy, we should have been reviewing all of the times in our lives that we put our own wants, needs, and desires, our true dreams, our true desires to the back burner in order to do what we thought was expected of us from other people, or what we thought other people wanted us to do. There is a huge line being drawn in the sand here where it is that we dimmed our own light in order to shine a light on other people and make them feel better. And now that Saturn, the Lord of Karma himself, is going direct, there is a little bit of a divine situation happening here where we have to boss up in our lives and take accountability for our actions, take our power back from overextending it to make other people's lives better while ours are falling apart. So Saturn going direct in Aquarius energy is highlighting your 12th house that Pisces naturally rules over. This is endings. This is closure. This is soul contracts, karmic contracts, life lessons. This is hidden realm of emotions. This is your intuition screaming at you on where it is that you have to kind of implement some boundaries in your life, especially where your relationships are concerned, so that you can stop kind of overextending yourself for what you think other people want you to be and just basically get back to being yourself. Now, on the same day, just hours later, we have Venus and the Sun moving into Scorpio energy. This Scorpio energy, being a sister water sign to you, is going to be very deep, very emotional, but really help kind of unpack where it is that your deepest, darkest fears are preventing you from pursuing your deepest, darkest desires. This particular Scorpio energy will be highlighting the 9th house for you. And the 9th house is not only providing you an opportunity to get in alignment with your higher self and your intuition again, but it's helping you to kind of tap into your past experiences, to pull the silver linings out of those tough love life lessons, to see where it is that you can turn some of these darker aspects into a form of light, where you can turn some of this pain into a source of power. This 9th house is asking you to kind of wrap things up as far as a particular life lesson goes, so that you can prepare to kind of immerse yourself in a brand new chapter. This is kind of indicating that you have to be a little bit more positive, a little bit more confident, a little bit more optimistic when you think about your future, and really getting in touch with new interests, new topics and themes that bring the excitement and bring the passion back. On the 25th, we have the new moon partial solar eclipse taking place at 2 degrees of Scorpio. This is a continuation from a topic and theme that got initiated in the fall of 2021 that got emphasized in May of 2022, where death and rebirth is concerned, where give and take are concerned. We're recognizing what it is that we have to let go of as far as our fears, our doubts, and our insecurities go, in order to create a space for a new self-worth, a new value within ourselves to actually be born. This particular energy is karmic in nature. It is a wild card event. And because it is in Scorpio energy, it is very deep, very transformative, but will align us with what it is that we're truly passionate about and what it is that we actually desire in life. Again, this particular energy, because it is a solar eclipse, tends to bless us with something, to reward us with something because of our pain and suffering, and because of passing the test and with flying colors with some of the tough love life lessons that, karmically speaking, we've gotten thrown into over the past 2.5 years. At 2 degrees, this is setting the tone for the next 2.5 year cycle. And this is also illuminating your 9th house. So this is, again, a new topic, a new theme, a new form of interest. Maybe you're going back to school. Maybe you're upgrading your skills. Whatever it is, this is a life lesson in where it is that you have to trust yourself, trust the universe, trust your intuition, trust your emotions more than trusting the data, the information, the details that are coming in from the other people in your lives and from your physical circumstances. This 9th house, again, is asking you to kind of act as the observer and see from the observer type of mentality where these life lessons, these tough love life lessons, were designed to push you into your power. Were designed to show you a new mission and a new purpose that you're very passionate about and that you actually want to bring to life. On the 28th, we have Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, blessings, and abundance, retrograding back into Pisces energy. This is going to be highlighting your first house of self. This is also a little bit of a reflection of what it is that we went through in 2021. Now, Jupiter wants us to grow. He wants us to improve. He wants us to believe in ourselves, and he wants to reward us for our pain, for our trauma, for our suffering. Back in the spring, Jupiter entered into Aries energy, where we were fighting a new fight, where we were initiating something new, where we were entering into a realm of growth and improvement, of overcoming some of the hardships that we had faced, especially from 2020 up until this particular point in 2022. Now, with Jupiter retrograding back into Pisces energy, especially in the first house, this is going to offer you a beautiful opportunity to reconnect with your soul, with your spirit, to refresh yourself, to renew yourself, to jump back into your spiritual practice, to bring yourself to life once again. This is going to help you really try to redefine where it is that you lost yourself in taking care of other people, where it is that you need to grow and improve in taking care of yourself. This is going to help you kind of boss up in believing in yourself, believing in the cosmos, in the universe, and reestablishing a connection to your spiritual practice, to the dreams that you set aside in order to pursue taking care of other people, and really give you an opportunity to kind of get realigned once again with what it is that you want to pursue moving forward. Because when Jupiter does kind of go direct in this Pisces energy, you're going to be able to actually come up with a plan and a strategy that will help you do what is needed for you, for your happiness, for your passion, for your desire, for your own particular wants, needs, and desires, where your mission and your purpose is concerned. On the 29th, we have Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, moving into Scorpio energy. This will be set up in your 9th house as well. This is really going to help you blend your intellect with your intuition to kind of weed through the darkness of your shadow realm, of your emotions, of your doubts, your insecurities on what it is that's actually blocking you from going after what it is that you're passionate about and what it is that you actually desire. In this 9th house, again, there is a chapter ending. There is a chapter closing because you have kind of went through that life lesson. You have absorbed the life lesson as much as you possibly can. And now you have to get back to doing what is right for you, seeing the path that awaits you when it is that you actually choose to act as the observer, align with your intuition, and see where the path moving forward is actually taking you as far as honoring yourself and pushing your own agenda goes. Now, Mercury being in Scorpio does do a deep dive in our psyche. It does kind of illuminate to us our deepest, darkest fears, because that is actually what is blocking us from going after our deepest, darkest desires. This particular energy is going to reveal some hidden truths, not only within yourself, but within your personal relationships as well. And in the 9th house, this is asking you to kind of boss up and throw yourself back into some form of education where you can refresh your skills and refresh your talents before you go ahead and pursue a new path that is going to kind of need your past experiences, your past skills and talents and education, wisdom and knowledge in order for you to bring this new dream, this new vision to life. Lastly, on the 30th, we have Mars, the god of war, going retrograde in Gemini energy. This is a pretty long transit. This will take us up until March of 2023, and it is going to trigger a lot of anger, a lot of frustration. This is going to push us inward and really examine our mental health, our wounds, if you will, our fears, our phobias. And because this is a Gemini energy, we are definitely stuck in the mental plane, and we are definitely having a hard time communicating our inner realm to those that need to hear it. We're also having a very hard time trying to express what it is that we need to see happen in our physical realms as well. And this is highlighting the 4th house of home and of family dynamics. And I would say that there are going to be some anger issues come up in relation to the inner child work that you are doing, or the relationship with the mother figure in your life. The 4th house really kind of represents where it is that we need better boundaries in our life, because we tend to involve ourselves too much in trying to take care of the people that we love and really help their lives out, while we neglect to straighten ourselves out and take care and nurture ourselves. So there is going to be a huge focus on the home and family dynamic and what needs to be rearranged and restructured and rebuilt as far as boundaries are concerned, so that we can get back to taking care of ourselves. Now, Mars going retrograde is going to highlight this anger and frustration of where it is that we feel stuck, where we feel like we can't walk away from certain roles and responsibilities and obligations and commitments that we've made towards some family members. But by the time Mars actually goes direct again, there is going to be a clear path, a clear strategy on what it is that we have to do to kind of bust through the blocks and obstacles that we've been faced in order to actually pursue our own passions and our own dreams. So some of the messages that I would like to leave you with that the universal guides would like you to focus on, first of all, they're talking about a huge blow to the heart chakra. They're talking about really taking the time to get grounded in present moment and sort through what kind of pain and trauma you've been carrying in your heart space. There is a sense of disappointment. There's a sense of exhaustion. There's a sense of just feeling depleted and hopeless. And I feel like a lot of this is due to the physical circumstances that you find yourself in, not only trying to bear the weight and bear the pain of other people, but watching yourself kind of fall apart while you help other people gain their footing again and do a lot better in their lives than you're doing in yours. I feel like a lot of this has to do with the financial situation going on in your life. There's a lot of fears, a lot of doubts, a lot of insecurities on what it is that you're going to do with yourself, with your life, with your circumstances based off of your current financial situation. But what they're showing me is that there is a lot of stability and a lot of financial opportunities being offered to you by the end of the month by really sitting with yourself and figuring out what it is that you want to pursue from here. There is this element of kind of holding on a little bit too tightly to what it is that you've been doing, feeling the obligation or the commitment to continue to kind of truck through and push through the pain and the trauma and the obstacles that these particular roles and responsibilities have created in you. But at the same time, recognizing where it is that these particular roles and responsibilities are actually sucking the life out of you and destabilizing the foundation of who it is that you are and the dreams and the creativity that you were hoping to kind of pursue this year. And because of that, your guides are asking you to kind of step back and to really reflect on, how it is that you got to this particular point, where it is that you're currently standing, and what it is that you want to do from here. This is a little bit about standing at this particular present moment and recognizing what it is that you want to start working towards as far as the big vision and the big dream go. Recognizing that sometimes you get a little bit caught up in the great big vision and the great big dream and overwhelmed with all that you would have to do in order to bust out of this particular funk and align with the dream and vision that you want to manifest. And what they're suggesting is just to take one day at a time, to recognize the big vision, the big picture that you actually want to manifest, but to do what you can in the run of your day-to-day life in order to take care of the tasks and chores of the present moment, but to also rearrange and reorganize and restructure your mental plane, your physical efforts, and your day-to-day tasks and chores to start contributing and aligning with building the greater, grander vision and dream that you now feel passionate in pursuing. So Pisces, I hope that is helpful. I know that my Pisces friends are going through it right now. This is a beautiful time for you to get real with yourself, to get raw, to get vulnerable on what it is that you want to do, where it is that you need to rebuild your own self up before you can go ahead and start going after new dreams and new visions. I really do feel that Jupiter moving back into your sign is going to provide you with the renewal that you actually need to feel, the refreshment that you actually need to feel, the resurrection of your life force energy that you've been lacking for quite some time. And with that particular shift, you will be prepared as we move into November to actually get a plan and a strategy together on how it is that you're going to rebuild yourself, reorganize your life, restructure the dream and the vision that you so desperately need to actually pursue for yourself. I hope you have a great month, and we'll talk to you soon.